Hello my friends and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to talk about some October upcoming horror and thriller releases. I told you all I was going to do a video closer to October where I tried to compile as many anticipated releases as I could into one and talk about all the new books coming out. October is the spookiest, best month. And I am just really excited for some of these releases. I am trying to lower my expectations a little bit because we've seen how some of the new releases have played out this year. Some of them haven't been the best, but I'm still hopeful. I'm still excited. I'm still wanting to find those really good 5-star new releases that I know are they're there. I know they're coming. I have high hopes. So I tried to find as many October releases that I was super duper excited about, and that way I could share them all with you. I'm sorry that some of them may be repeats, but they are coming out in October and I am trying to compile a list for you all, so hopefully you don't mind too much that some of these titles you've probably already heard, but I'll try to make it quick for each book and try not to take too long explaining them, especially the ones that I've already talked about, but just enough to give you an idea if you haven't heard about it, if you would like to check it out. I have a lot of books to talk about. Let's get into some upcoming October releases. So first up we have Little Eve by Catriona Ward. This one is coming out October 11th, and this is actually not a new release. This is just the first time this book is being published in the US. But for the US, this is a brand new book for us. This one interests me, but I am nervous because I loved The Last House on Needless Street. I loved it a lot. It was one of my favorite books of 2021. It was amazing. I loved it. It was an easy 5 stars. However, I wasn't the biggest fan of Sundial. I thought it was okay, but just not as good as The Last House on Needless Street. So I am a little nervous for this one. This is a gothic novel, which again isn't always the best fit for me, but I always try. So this book is about an isle off the coast of Scotland where a clan prepares to bring about the end of the world and its imminent rebirth. It sounds very interesting. It just says the adder is coming and one of their number will inherit its powers. I don't know, it sounds interesting. I know a lot of people, myself included, love Catriona Ward's writing. It's very beautiful. It's very it's different. It has a very different feel to it. So I am excited for that. I just hope it ends up more like The Last House on Needless Street and not like Sundial for me. Next up, we have Halloween Slaughter by Sergio Gomez. This is the sequel to Camp Slaughter. It is coming out October 11th. I am very excited about this one. I really enjoyed Camp Slaughter. I really liked it. This is about a cannibal that terrorizes a small town in Pennsylvania. I love cannibal stories. I love slashers, so this book fits right into my typical genres. I'm very excited for it. Yeah, I'm just really excited for this one. There's not a lot about it. It just says a cannibal terrorizes a small town in northern Pennsylvania. So, not really sure what to expect plot-wise, but I think it's going to be really good. And I mean, the name is Halloween Slaughter. It's gonna be fun, I can tell. Next up is The Witch in the Well by Camilla Bruce. This one is coming out October 4th, and this is one of my most anticipated in this list. I'm very excited about this one. The cover is beautiful. The cover is absolutely stunning. I'm obsessed with it. That is the reason I first looked into it anyways. I just really liked the cover, which isn't surprising. I'm a very cover motivated buyer. Like when I see a cover I like, I get really interested. But also I'm just really into witchy horror books lately. I really enjoy them after reading Slewfoot. But this is actually a Norwegian thriller, which I think is really, really exciting. This story is about two former friends who are going to reunite after not speaking for a very long time. They both have this shared interest, this shared obsession over this young woman who was accused of witchcraft. They both have their own wants and reasons for looking into this young woman, but they're going to end up coming together to probably find out the truth and just see what's really going on, what really happened, what's the real truth about this story. So I'm very excited for this one. I think this one has a lot of potential to be really, really, really good, and I will be buying this one 1000%. I'm very, very interested in this book. The next on the list is The Restless Dark by Erica Waters. This cover is also very, very beautiful. This one is coming out October 4th, and this is a YA. However, the plot really, really, really interests me. It says that this is following three girls who are in a true crime contest to find the bones of a lost killer. And they all have their reasonings for wanting to find these bones and they want to find answers. They all have their own reasons for entering this contest, and we're going to follow the three girls and just kind of see their stories and their reasonings and their search for the bones. I don't know. It sounds very, very intriguing. It says it's for fans of Sadie and Wilder Girls. I actually did enjoy Wilder Girls. I gave it like a 3.5, I believe. Sadie I have yet to read, but I'm very excited for Sadie. So I do think this sounds very, very interesting. I think this could be a really, really great YA story. We'll see. I think it sounds good. I have high hopes for it, so we'll see if it delivers. Next up is another book I've actually talked about before. I'm very, very, very excited for this one. Also has a beautiful, stunning cover. It is Jackal by Erin E. Adams. This one is coming out October 4th as well. This is about a black woman who returns to her predominantly white town for her friend's wedding, and on the night of the wedding her friend's daughter goes missing, and this triggers her memories of a night similar to this where another black girl in school went into the woods with a mysterious man and was later found with her chest cavity just ripped open and her heart missing. And I think this sounds so spooky, so creepy, so eerie, and I have really high hopes for it. I know I shouldn't be this excited and I should be more realistic, but I think this one just sounds incredible. It sounds exactly like something I would want to read. So I can't wait for this one. I really do think this one has a lot of potential as well. We have Such Sharp Teeth by Rachel Harrison coming out October 4th as well. I love Rachel Harrison. I will be buying this because I've loved everything I've read from Rachel Harrison so far. I love Cackle with every fiber of my being. I know everyone already knows that, but I love Cackle. And I have my own reservations about this book because I know it's about werewolves. I'm not the biggest fan of werewolf like horror thriller books. It's not really my thing. But if anyone can make me like a werewolf book, I feel like Rachel Harrison could. So I'm gonna give it a chance, because I mean, hello, Cackle was just wonderful. This is about the main character who's moving back to her hometown, but she doesn't really want to. She's only doing it for her twin sister who is pregnant and estranged from the baby's father. One night she goes out, she kind of has a run-in with a long lost flame of hers, and after she leaves the bar, she ends up getting into like an accident with an animal, and when she goes to investigate the animal that she hit with her car, she gets attacked and she lives, but she is changed after the attack. So I don't know. It says it's a darkly comedic love story. So I think this is going to be similar to Cackle in terms of not horror. So I don't know if everyone's going to love this one, but we'll see, because I really loved Jackal. So it sounds like it's going to be more on the lines of Jackal than like The Return, her first book. But we'll see. I loved both books, to be honest, so I think I'll probably really like this one. This is also a repeat one. This is Curse of the Reaper by Brian McGauley, I think is how you say that. I'm not really sure. This is also coming out October 4th. October 4th is a big day, apparently. A lot of books are coming out on that day. This has been mentioned before, like I said. Says it's Scream meets The Shining. This book is about an aging actor who was the villain in an 80s slasher franchise, and now he's not really in anything else. He's signing autographs at like conventions. He's not really doing anything new. He finds out they're bringing back the movie, but they've actually replaced him. They're putting someone else in his role, and he feels as though he deserves to revive that role. Sounds like he's gonna go a little bit far in his want for this character, because it does say, as he fights to reclaim his legacy, the sinister alter ego consumes his unraveling mind. So it sounds like he's gonna get pushed a little far because of this recasting. I think it sounds fun. I love anything that has to do with slashers, so I will definitely be looking into this one and probably buying it when it comes out. Next up is It Rides a Pale Horse by Andy Marino. This one is coming out the 4th as well. Like I said, October 4th is a very big day apparently for new releases. This is about siblings. One of them is a more well-known artist from the big city, and his sister keeps to herself more. She's more eccentric, I guess, and one day he goes to deliver one of his art pieces like to a buyer, and when he gets there, this guard plays him a live feed of his sister getting abducted, and then informs him that she's safe, but her well-being is entirely in his hands, and he's given a book, and he has to do what the book says, and if he does, his sister will go free. But as he slowly realizes, it seems that the book is demonic. It says his sister's captors are almost certainly not what they seem, and his town and those within it are changing. I don't know what any of that means. I don't even know what to make of that description. Yeah, I don't know what to make of this one, but it sounds interesting, and I think a lot of people will probably be very interested in it. We have a new Ronald Malfi coming out. This one is ghost written, and it is coming out the 4th as well. This is actually a book of 4 novellas from Ronald Malfi. I don't really know anything about them. It just says full of creepy page-turning suspense. So I'm excited. I like Ronald Malfi a lot. Come With Me was one of my favorite books of last year. So I am excited to read more from him, and I do love novellas. They can make reading really easy sometimes, especially if you're in a slump. I feel like novellas are a really great place to start. If you haven't ever read anything from Ronald Malfi before, I feel like a novella would be a good place to start, so why not pick up this? It has 4 novellas inside, so I'm very excited for this one. We'll see. This one is Aliens Vasquez by V. Castro. This one is coming out the 25th. So this is actually very, very interesting. When I read the plot of this one, I think a lot of people are going to be very, very excited. So this is actually going to be about the character Jeanette Vasquez from the movie Aliens. This is going to be her backstory and kind of a look into her character, which I think a lot of people are going to be really interested. I know the Alien franchise is very popular. I know it's a fan favorite. I'm not the biggest fan of the Alien franchise. I don't hate it. It's just not my kind of horror movie. I kind of want to check this out. I really do, because I really like V. Castro as a writer. I've only read Queen of the Cicadas from her, but I know a lot of people love Goddess of Filth and just love her writing in general, and I don't know, I'm interested in this one. I am interested in this one. I feel like this is going to be a very interesting story, and I also just think this will be a very unique way to tell a character's backstory, especially one that you don't get a backstory from. You only get that small time with this character from the movie. So I actually think this is a very cool and just, I don't know, I just am really intrigued by it. So I kind of really do want to give it a read. But also, Justin, my partner, loves the movie Alien and the franchise. So I feel like it's kind of a win-win. If I don't enjoy it, I feel like I will just give it to him and I feel like he would enjoy it. So I actually do feel like I will be picking this one up. Plus, I do want to read more alien horror. So yeah, I do feel like I might give this one a go. Next up, we have When the Night Bell Rings by Joe Kaplan. This is coming out the 11th, and I actually don't know too much about this one. Like I said, I mean, I was just kind of looking for books because I am doing this list for myself, but also for you all. So I do want to include books that maybe I might not always like, but I know other people will, you know, be interested in. So this one says, in a future ravaged by fire and drought, 2 climate refugees ride their motorcycles across the wasteland of the western US and stumble upon an old silver mine. So they're going to go into the mine, which I can tell you is probably a very bad idea. And they're going to go down there for water, but they're going to find a diary from a settler in search of prosperity who brought her family to Nevada in the late 1860s. But these settlers find something monstrous in the depths of the mine. So that's gonna be probably bad since those 2 just went into the mine as well. Apparently there are monsters in the mine. I don't know what kind of monsters, I don't know what's gonna happen, but it sounds interesting, and I feel like a creepy mine is actually a really good setting, and one that I haven't seen too often, at least for me personally. I haven't read too many books in a creepy mine, so I think this one sounds actually really interesting. I am interested in what kind of monsters are down in that mine. The next one is The Black Maybeliminal Tales by Attila Verez. I hope that is correct. I am so sorry if it is not. So this is going to be a collection of tales published in English for the first time. This author is Hungarian. I think that's very cool. I haven't read too many stories or books by Hungarian authors. I don't believe so, at least. So I think this is very cool, and I do want to check this out. But it says that they range from weird fiction to like folk horror and just Lovecraftian as well. So it sounds like there's gonna be something in there for a lot of people. Collections like this are very cool. I love getting a sense and a feel for a new author. It can be a little bit hit or miss though, especially when you get such a full range like that with such different genres and subgenres. So I will be interested to see how the stories flow together and how they feel reading like one after another, but I do think this will be a really cool collection. It just says it's coming out in October of this year. It doesn't have a date, but it's being published by Valancourt Books. So yeah, I'll be keeping my eyes out for this one. I do think it's very interesting, and I do like the cover a lot, and yeah, I don't know, I'm really interested in this one. Next up, we have Malice House by Megan Shepherd. This one is coming out the 4th. I don't believe I've read anything by this author. I don't think so. This author doesn't sound familiar, So, from the synopsis on Goodreads, it sounds like the main character is clearing out her father's seaside house after his death, and she finds this manuscript, but it's a collection of short stories with horrific monsters in it. And so when she finds this, since she's an artist, she wants to illustrate alongside the manuscript. She wants to make the illustrations for it. But it sounds like everyone in this town kind of wants in on the action. And someone is also trying to break into her house, apparently, while all this is going on. So, you know, there's all that happening. But then she also finds a monstrous creature under her bed. So she has to kind of figure out what's going on with this manuscript. What is all this? What's connected? Why do all these people want a piece of it? What's going on? This sounds very interesting. I don't really know what to expect from it. I don't know, but it sounds really cool, and I am interested in it. All right, we have another beautiful cover. This is The Dark Between the Trees by Fiona Barnett. This one is coming out the 11th of October. And again, I don't know too much about this one. It is a gothic folk thriller. You know, those are some things that aren't typically my favorite. Gothic and folk are hit or miss for me, but I'm always wanting to try books in those subgenres, so we'll see. This is about a group of soldiers in 1643 that are ambushed in a part of northern England, and their only hope to survive is to flee into these nearby woods, and these woods are known to be very spooky, right? Witchcraft, shadows, the devil's supposed to be lurking in there. So it says 17 men enter the wood, only 2 are ever seen again, and the stories they tell of what happened make no sense. It says they're stories of shifting landscapes, of trees that appear and disappear, and of something else, it says. I don't know what that means. Something dark and something hungry. And then in present day, 5 women are headed into the woods to discover once and for all what happened to that group of soldiers. Sounds like a bad idea to me. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of books like these have bad ideas. I wouldn't do this, but I will happily read a book where other people do things like that. So I think this sounds very intriguing. I love the cover, I love the ideas, and the plot description from what I've read. So yeah, I think this sounds like it could be a fun one. This one is actually a graphic novel. This is The Night Eaters, She Eats the Night by Marjorie M. Liu and Sana Takeda, I think is the correct pronunciations, I hope. This sounds very, very exciting. I love graphic novels, and this is about 2 Chinese American twins that are having a really rough time with life in their, you know, professional and just like personal lives. Their parents end up coming to town for a visit, and their mom ends up making them help her clean up the house next door, which is like super duper run down. And it was also a scene for a grisly murder, which sounds not good. It says a night of terror, gore, and supernatural mayhem. So I think this sounds extremely good. Like I said, I'm always in the market for new graphic novels, and I think this one sounds very, very cool. The cover is absolutely stunning, so if that's any indication for what the art is going to look like, I'm 100% invested and excited. And that one comes out on October 11th. The Hollow Kind by Andy Davidson. This is coming out the 11th, and again, I really don't know what this one's about. You shouldn't be surprised. I kind of just was finding books that sounded or looked like a lot of people would be interested in. The main character is trying to get out of an abusive marriage. Found out her long-lost grandfather has given her his estate. When she finds out she is inheriting the estate, she takes her 11-year-old son and just makes a run for it. The estate is a decrepit farmhouse on 1,000 acres of old forest, but I mean, that doesn't dissuade her. She's just very excited to have a way out for her and her son. It says that it takes her a while to notice the strange scratching in the walls, the faint whispering at night, and how the forest is eerily quiet. And then her son sees things that she obviously can't. Always the kid seeing bad stuff, obviously. I feel like we always know that. It says something lurks beneath the soil, ancient and hungry, with the power to corrupt hearts and destroy souls. It's the legacy of Red Fern Hill, a kingdom of grief and death. So definitely sounds like a story that we are all familiar with. It sounds like we all kind of know the general idea of this story. It sounds like something we've seen before, but I am very interested in it. It's a plot that I do enjoy. I like the idea of it. So let's hope that this is a really, really good book. And that is the list that I have for you all of October upcoming releases. These are not all of them, of course. There are so many other books I'm sure coming out, but these are just the ones that I thought sounded the most interesting to me, but also would be the most interesting to you all, hopefully. I don't know. Let me know if there are any others that I missed down below and you want to let other people know about them, or you want to let me know about them. That would be great. This is a very small list of what is actually coming out. I'm sure there are so many other books, so I would appreciate any additions that you all want to make in the comments to let other people know, and let me know, of course. So I hope you enjoyed this little list of October releases. Hopefully you did. Hopefully these are good books. Let me know which ones you were the most excited about, if you will be checking any of these out. I would love to hear your thoughts and your opinions. If you enjoyed this video, and if you enjoy these kinds of videos, please give me a thumbs up so that way I know that you enjoy them. That way I can keep providing you with them in the future. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to my channel. We can become friends, talk about books, horror books, thrillers, romance, manga, graphic novels, all kinds of things. And with that being said, I hope you are having a great day, night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.